Hello, I'm Elif and this is a recap for episode 32 of the series One Love, 24 hours after Turkey and before dubbed for TV. Ertuğrul contacts Nişanlı and thanks her for remembering the painting. Cranberry, having overheard Nişanlı's conversation, questions her. Shocked upon understanding the situation, Cranberry says, "So, you went to meet a stranger without your husband? Who is Omid?" Nişanlı, irritated, replies, "My husband doesn't interfere in my affairs." Cranberry retorts, "Your husband is clueless. Someone should remind him." Nişanlı asserts, "I know what I'm doing." Cranberry remarks, "Go to other men's homes, let your husband go to other women's homes. Both of you get divorced before I get cancer." Before the first court hearing, Doğa calls Nilay to see if she is willing to testify in court. Nilay recalls Abdullah's words, where he had asked her not to get involved in this matter. She apologizes to Doğa and states that she cannot keep her promise. In court, Doğa declares that she wants nothing else but custody of her daughter and requests a divorce. However, Fatih expresses his love for his wife and refuses to divorce her. After the court hearing, Fatih asks Doğa to return to their previous life, but Doğa responds, "The same days when you betrayed me while I was pregnant. I won't come back to you even if I die." Nişanlı goes to see Doğa to inquire about her well-being. Doğa asks Nişanlı to watch over Cemre for a while so she can visit the doctor, and Nişanlı agrees. After Doğa leaves, Nişanlı calls Fatih and tells him if he wants to see Cemre, he should come to Kızılcık's house. Fatih immediately goes there, sees Cemre for a brief moment, and as Doğa leaves, he enters the house. Shocked upon seeing Fatih, Cemre scolds him and Nişanlı, asking them to leave. Fatih becomes very angry at Doğa's behavior. Omar becomes upset at the company and immediately arranges a meeting with Kızılcık. He asks her to meet him at their new house that night. He urges Kızılcık to inform everyone soon that they are married and begin their life together. In the evening, Kızılcık tells her daughters and her mother that she has married Omar. They congratulate her joyfully. Ertuğrul's daughter, Mary, praises her fiancé, Ibrahim, and his family to her father. She tells him that Ibrahim has not proposed to anyone else before and seeing Mary has changed his mind. Mary explains that she and Ibrahim are in a hurry to get married. Ertuğrul immediately objects, stating that he cannot simply send his only daughter off to her fate like that. One night, while performing at a bar with his band, Omid returns home late to Abdullah's house. Abdullah, who had been waiting for him, expresses his concern, saying, "Put these late-night activities aside. I'll help you." Omid appreciates his concern and goes to Nişanlı's room. She has been feeling frustrated due to the pressure from the Ünal family's words and actions during this time. When she asks him about his missing ring, he nonchalantly responds that he must have lost it at the bar. Nişanlı, feeling concerned, retrieves the ring and says, "Whenever you find it, I'll put it on for you." Omid replies, "These things don't matter to me. The ring is just a symbol. We are deeply connected in our hearts." Doğa goes out for a walk with her daughter, and when she tries to put the child in the car upon their return, Fatih calls her. During this conversation, the car starts moving, shocking Doğa. Burak, the driver hired by Omar for the Kızılcık family, tells Doğa that Cemre was accidentally placed in the car. Doğa becomes terrified and frantically searches for her daughter, crying. A few minutes later, they see the car Cemre was in, waiting for them, and Cemre embraces her daughter. She doesn't tell her mother anything about the incident. Cranberry goes to the dining room to talk to Sönmez and complains about the situation between Fatih and Doğa. Sönmez says that Doğa will never accept Fatih's betrayal but eventually gives up on her stubbornness regarding not showing the child. Nişanlı waits for the bus, and Ertuğrul sees her, urging her to join him. On the way, Ertuğrul suggests going to an art exhibition together. Nişanlı wants to inform Omid but remembers Omid's statement that they don't need permission from each other and decides to accompany Ertuğrul. After the exhibition's opening, during Ertuğrul's speech, he introduces Nişanlı and praises her. They get engrossed in viewing the artworks, engage in warm conversation, and enjoy each other's company. When Omid calls Nişanlı and realizes she went to the exhibition with Ertuğrul, he feels uneasy. That night, everyone goes to Omar and Kızılcık's house, and right from the start, there are whispers and sarcasm exchanged between Doğa, Fatih, Panbeh, and Nilay. Eventually, Kızılcık and Omar announce that they are married, and everyone congratulates them. Sönmez, suspicious of Panbeh's behavior, calls Olev, who is absent from the ceremony, and informs her. Panbeh, wanting to provoke Olev, agrees to pretend that something happened between them and goes to Omar and Kızılcık's house. As soon as the guests leave, Kızılcık scolds Olev for the lie she told, stating that her smallest mistake complicates Doğa's divorce process. Olev lies, saying she talked to her ex-boyfriend recently, and they got back together. Kızılcık finds it hard to believe her. The next day in court, to everyone's surprise, Fatih says, "I love my wife, but I agree to the divorce. Whatever makes them happy." He continues, "But I want custody of my daughter. Unfortunately, my wife lacks mental stability. Yesterday, she lost our child." Doğa is shocked. Borak, Omar's driver, arrives and recounts the incident from the previous day. Later, the driver in whose car Cemre was found arrives and explains the situation. He says, Mrs. Doğa was acting like a maniac, talking to herself. "I was scared of them. They took the child in a way that it could fall any moment." Doğa, furious, attacks him and Fatih in the hallway, saying, "It's your fault. I'll kill you, Fatih." Kızılcık and Omar forcefully restrain her. Fatih calmly states, "If you were a good mother, you wouldn't have lost my daughter. Go sit somewhere and cry." In fact, Fatih, with the collaboration of Doğa's lawyer and two drivers, planned Cemre's disappearance. Shortly after, the judge announced temporary custody of Cemre to her father, Fatih Onal. It is decided that a final decision regarding custody will be made after therapy sessions for the mother. Doğa, who has no intention of giving Cemre to Fatih, escapes with Cemre, with the help of Çim and Olev, towards another city in the middle of the night. Someone who is monitoring them informs Fatih, and on the way, Fatih, accompanied by the police, blocks Doğa's path. Despite Doğa's resistance, Fatih takes Cemre with him. Doğa's screams gradually turn into pleas, but Fatih, indifferent, leaves with Cemre from there. Thank you for watching, stay tuned for the next episode.